You guys know how in his opening, they say he has a superpowered mind? I tend to believe it when you see how he solves problems with this thing known as the brain blast. Jimmy Neutron, if you was born in the early 1990s, you might know about him. The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. He's a typical kid, if you consider a typical kid being the world's smartest 11-year-old boy with an IQ higher than Mars. The genius Jimmy invents gadgets that he hopes will improve everyday life, although most often his creations cause more chaos than chaos theory. He's had a movie, he's had a show, he has friends, they go on adventures, blah, blah, blah. How strong is he though? Or one could say, how smart is he? Because his smartness kind of has a lot to do with how strong he is, because he invents ways to be more powerful with his brain, you know. So I think it's only fair to really start running down his different inventions. Like even back in these early days, he had an artificial intelligence, which we are just now getting into in current days. He has plenty of flying apparatuses him and his friends fly on, even his own jetpack, all kinds of mechs. He has his own mech suit that got cannons or blasters in it. He has things that allow him to absorb energy or siphon energy.
Too late, Neutron. My power siphon is charged and ready for battle. So's mine, Stretch.
Jimmy, the next time you use your matter transporter to move the house.
Other than teleportation and power siphoning, he has like different ways to time travel, like a time booth. So yeah, Jimmy's basically a time manipulator via him being able to use his brain to create inventions. He even did like a time loop here, for example, to make his mom replay the same scenario where she kept saying yes about this cookie over and over again. Time manipulation. Even can send him all the way millions of years time during the time of the dinosaurs. He has all kinds of energy manipulative tools, like this, for example, it's like a gravity thing to make you float. Or one could say he has like some form of telekinesis when it comes to this kind of gear. He can literally shoot force fields at beings to trap them, seal them. He has things that can hypnotize beings, aka mind control, manipulation type stuff. Transmutation stuff, like to turn stuff into literal cheese. He can literally advance the DNA by 350 million years, for example. Let's just say it's not wise for friends that don't know what they're doing to play in his lab because they'll literally clone themselves. Yeah, this clone making crap is especially bad when you end up getting a evil clone. He knows how to copy something's quantum field. Like he can make you not evil. Like he's a really good doctor because he can literally go inside your body to microscopic size to find a way to go in your body and extract some of the bacteria so they can find a way to make a vaccine to heal some beings that are sick. So yeah, he has size manipulation type of tech. And this is like everything you need to know right here. I would be scared being shrunk to this small size. He has machines to make beings older, all kinds of ways of teleportation, a literal freeze ray ice manipulation. He's used this freeze ray against Timmy Turner, you know, from Fairly Odd Parents. Literally quantum enhanced some sunscreen to change the weather basically by amplifying the effects.
Implementing your sunblock idea, Carl. If SPF 50 can shield your skin from the sun's rays, then this quantumly enhanced SPF 9000 should shield the entire town.
Jimmy, you did it! You changed the weather!
-30. Warning, do not quantumly enhance. Contents may cause second ice age.
He has a science satchel, like he has his own cube to where it can fit like an infinite amount of things in it. You can visually see it fit stuff that it shouldn't be able to fit in it. Everybody and their mother wants to taste this candy. The candy that made everybody fight over it because it tastes so good. He scientifically made the best tasting candy. Apparently made his love potions. He has a thing that can just manually change his hairstyle, make beings grow beards, hair manipulation. He invented his own super dart that can do a lot of different things. Goddard has his own guns that can fit in him somehow. He literally has cloaking tech to where he can make stuff invisible, other stuff, not just his own ship. Jimmy can program his dog to actually hack into other mechanical beings and basically control them. Somehow Jimmy Neutron can enter people's dreams with a portal. We can't breathe underwater, no problem. All you gotta do is eat these because he made them. They can breathe underwater because of them. Man, that's convenient. He can basically violate your privacy by wearing this helmet. He can see all the information about you. This is where he was taking his hall monitor duty ridiculously serious. If we're being honest, Jimmy could just technically give himself superpowers. I mean, he accidentally made like a formula to boost your health to ridiculous levels. Like when he gave his friend this, Carl, he got super freaking strength. This was temporary, of course, but he didn't even need glasses anymore. He was doing push-ups with one finger. He was just boosted. Rust spray to blast down fences. This is basically the audience asking them, why can they breathe in space? Apparently there's a scientific explanation for it.
How come whenever we're in outer space, we don't gotta wear helmets?
Good question, Sheen. And the answer is quite interesting. You see...
Huh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And how come we don't need oxygen tanks and stuff?
Well...
Star! You're
Fascinating.
Well, someone would have to have a photographic memory and be able to memorize super fast.
Like Jimmy?
Me? Analyze brain gain helmet to determine maximum possible IQ increase. If left unchecked, Sheen's IQ will keep growing to infinity. See, I reduce the contents of different books to gum form. You chew it, And you know it. Your brain is growing at a dangerously fast pace.
Yeah, he was getting so smart, his head was literally growing, and it made him get superpowers to where he can use telekinesis and can fly, read people's minds, to give him superpowers and blast. Jimmy had to invent something to brain drain him so he can go back to normal. He can technically give you fighting skills by downloading the fighting skills or dance moves into you, basically, like this. So he can give people superpowers and fighting skills, one could say, just with his inventions. I mean, without even talking about no enhancements when it comes to his combat speed, we've seen him react to certain stuff he shouldn't be able to, just when he's in his ship, or just lightning bolts or lightning plasma blasts. We've seen him dodge from Sheen when he was evil. He literally gave himself super speed by spraying this stuff on his shoes, to where he was so astronomically faster than everybody. When they started running, he gave them a head start on purpose just to show how much faster he was. So you can see his takeoff speed, passing her with laughable ease, even though she had a massive head start. Stopped right at the finish line on purpose, went to go get some drink real quick just to get back to the same spot.
You are going so fast, you were completely invisible.
He was actually fast enough to hit fire hydrants off and stuff, so with the speed, you can say he can hit harder. I mean, he was even able to travel from the Earth all the way to the moon in a ridiculously short amount of time. If I did my math correctly, he went all the way to the moon and back within 9 seconds. If I did my math correctly, with these amp shoes, that would have mean he would have been running over 200,000 times faster than the speed of sound. Imagine that fist hitting you at that speed. And there's implications this actually gave him combat speed. He's able to perceive things while moving at super speed faster than people can see him. And Jimmy, this is straight up dangerous. But of course, this was temporary, but he's had other amplifications. Like, do you all remember where there was like his parody of Jimmy Neutron and the Thing from Marvel Comics fusing together? Making this hulked out like Jimmy Neutron form where he got like super strength and stuff.
What's wrong with me? Feeling strange? Thoughts cloudy.
This was such a gag to the point where he would even get bulky because he would get mad. Like, that's how you know it was like a hulkish type of Marvel Comics reference. But it just had him looking like the Thing with green hair, coincidentally. But I'll let them explain the power-ups explanation. You know, of course, everything in this show's temporary, but still.
We flew straight into the Van Patten radiation belt. Exposure to Van Patten rays has been known to cause weird mutations. Their powers are burning up their metabolisms. Their life forces will be drained in 6 hours.
Like the life is being drained out of us.
Pam's heavy seltzer, of course. It absorbs radiation. With heavy seltzer completed my demutation formula.
But how strong is this hulked out Jimmy Neutron? Even though this was temporary, we know he's strong enough to break these lampposts down, lift decent sized boulders that are probably a few tons, send trucks flying, tanks that we know have to bare minimally weigh about 60 plus tons. We see him swing around so he can lift 60 plus tons with ease. With Jimmy Neutron having this kind of strength in his Hulk-like state, what do you think his punches will feel like? Without sugarcoating it, they would probably feel like a tank falling on your face, honestly. Not only do we see him throwing stuff this far, but messing up these jets. We literally see him pick up a tank and swat another tank away that far. So you know the weight of his hits are just like what he can lift. Like, we literally seen him send tanks flying away. So saying he can hit with the weight of a 60-ton tank hitting you in the face is an oversimplification. I guess you could say the only weakness is that he was kind of mindless. He was hurting his own friends, for example. It launched him in the air. The weight of his hits can create his own localized earthquakes or shock waves. That's how hard he can hit. But of course, this power-up doesn't stay, obviously. It's still something cool and nice to talk about. And based on the stuff he's built, they still are ridiculously destructive, like his different guns he's made over the years. Like, he literally has his own blaster when he was fighting a clone of himself, of course. He literally beam struggled with the being and overpowered that in the ship. He has inventions to where if they go haywire, it could affect a wide radius. Like there was this invention that was going crazy and it was affecting the city wide. Everybody, they don't even know that was getting affected. Wide area of effect. Even his dog. In a weird way, you can look at Jimmy having inventions that can erase things out of existence. I'm talking about erasing actual large structures, like even entire planets. Like there was this incident with the duplicate Earth and such. Like he had made something that was going to destroy a planet over time or erase it over time.
It looks like the entire planet's electromagnetic field has been disrupted. I've only got 90 minutes to retrieve the flux field and reverse the process before everyone on Earth fades into oblivion.
So I guess you can kind of look at it like his inventions can kind of sort of erase Earth over time via him being able to change his size. Via size manipulations, he can literally grow to the size of planets. And his size does affect how strong he is, because notice when he gets this huge, everything about him increases his power. Even his breath. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the size scaling when you see it visually on screen looks like he might have not been actually planet size. But if we take what this actually says seriously and assume he's like a size of a planet like Earth, that would automatically mean he would be bigger than smaller planetoids like the moon. In this large size, that would imply smaller planetoids like the moon, he could at least shove or at least move a planetoid the size of the moon. If we assume he could at least move it, we don't need to assume he can like blow it up with punches just to move it. That would be enough. And maybe while he's Earth size, maybe he might be able to move a planetoid like the Earth with his physical muscles being large size like this. He would be millions of times bigger than the largest mountains being this size. You know, you get the idea. When you're this heavy, you have to be able to produce a lot of destructive raw power. Jimmy at this size will be able to level multiple states in the United States, heck, even level the entirety of the United States and even continents themselves. But even if we X this stuff out of the equation when it comes to how destructive he could be, see, it was during this big crossover event where Jimmy and Timmy met. They're from different universes. Timmy was literally, you know, Timmy usually plays this video game, and, you know, you see Jimmy's dog over here, Goddard, his invention. Timmy literally downloaded his video game of this creature in the video game into Goddard, essentially powering Goddard up.
Decimator, crush the planet. Does your game have a lot of cool features? Decimator locks on to moving targets. Then, every time he defeats a player, he gets bigger.
Jimmy's dog was literally evolving throughout the episode. And if we go by previous lore when it comes to the Decimator, apparently its maximum form can get big enough to where it can eat the planet Earth. We didn't necessarily see Goddard, you know, with this download, get as big as a planet, but if it was to continue like the way it was going, there's implications it could actually Earth shatter or ate the Earth itself and destroy the Earth. Jimmy's version of this powered up Goddard could possibly, we didn't see it happen, but possibly get big enough and powerful enough to where it could eventually shatter the planet itself via this Decimator amp. I mean, without this amp, his dog is still pretty powerful, having lasers and all kinds of things, missiles, weaponry of all sorts.
Decimator, crush the planet.
What do you think? Do you think all this is BS and Goddard couldn't get this big or strong? What do you think?
My hovercraft goes 476 miles per hour on land, sea, and air.
I usually farm around Mach 2.
So it's confirmed he can at least fly at least Mach 2. I mean, I brought up his speed earlier, but I was talking about him amping himself. Well, I'm talking about his rockets and stuff that can fly real fast. They had to deliver presents to everybody around the world, and they actually succeeded.
My calculations were perfect. We're finishing up right on schedule.
You remember that time where they quickly flew to Egypt in like literally no time? That extremely short amount of time. Jimmy Neutron ship can fly hilariously faster than the speed of light. I'm talking about traveling light years in their lifetime.
And as you can see, they lead us somewhere in the Orion star system approximately 3 million light years away, and build our fleet of interstellar warships.
Yes, you heard that correctly. He said 3 million light years. So we know they did this in less than like 3 million years. So let's just assume they did this in, I don't know, 4 weeks. Flew 3 million light years in 4 weeks. I'm just lowballing it because we don't know the exact number, just disrespecting them. If I did the math correctly, that would prove his ships can fly over 400 million times faster than light. And that's assuming 4 weeks, guys. Like, they more than likely did it faster, but I'm just lowballing it because we don't know the specifics. But that just lets you know, no matter how you slice it, his ships are way faster than the speed of light. But yeah, guys, Jimmy Neutron is extremely smart. He's got a little gag sprinkled into his show, but then he's just really smart. But do me a favor and hit that like button for me real quick. Thanks for the donations, guys. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.